Це пан Тобіас ВІНКЛЕР, це голова представництва Європарламенту з Мюнхену, який буде казати, що саме може зробити Європарламент та взагалі європейські держави для того, щоб підтримати Україну, і ми могли все-таки зробити все, що ми собі намітили. Дуже дякую, пане Тобіас.
Yeah, so thank you very much for inviting me here to Kiev. It's my first time in Ukraine, I have to admit. And maybe allow me a preliminary remark. I was astonished when you, or also yesterday when we arrived here, we were announced as the European guests. Would you do that with Ukrainian guests? Would you call them the Ukrainian guests? You are part of Europe. You are in the heart of Europe. So we are representing the European Union, and I think we should distinguish on that. So if you don't feel as Europeans, you are part of this Europe, and you are in the center. So I come from Bavaria, from Munich, and we are in the heart of the European Union, and this makes us self-confident. We are in the middle, we are in the center, we have many advantages from this geographical fact, and you should do so with your center location in Europe. So the geographical center of Europe is in Ukraine, and you should never, or I don't give you any advice, but I was irritated when we were introduced as the European guests. So I think we are a family of Europeans, European countries. Ukraine is one, Germany is one part. Some of them are in the European Union and some not yet. But all we have in common is we are Europeans. And this also has, of course, impact about our culture, traditions, and so on, our values, which is part of my introduction or of my title of the intervention. And your question was, what can the European Parliament or the European Union do for Ukraine? Of course, we were very happy when you decided to go this European way, let's say like this. But of course, we always support you on this way, but you have to acknowledge it's your decision. It's your free decision which way you choose. There are maybe 2 ways, maybe 3 or 4 alternatives, but it's your choice. And when you come to conditions, you said you are facing many conditions when you use European programs or European support. Of course, there are conditions, there are rules, there's a framework, you have to admit, but it's your choice if you want to have this help. If you want to join a program, you know the rules, you have to accept them. But it's your choice if you want to take the program or not. So the conditions are there, but you know it in advance. And check the alternatives, and we are not unhappy if you say, maybe we are unhappy, but we cannot do anything against, we have no sanctions, there's no pressure. If you decide not to go this way, not to accept this program, it's your choice, but check the alternatives. I think you're on a very, very good way right now, the way towards European Union to have our support. We have many instruments how to do that, but you have to know it's always your free choice. This is also a difference to maybe yesterday, your situation 30 years ago or 40 years ago. There you had no choice. If there were conditions, you had to apply them. Now, this is different, and this is I think this is not always in your mind when you talk about that. We have, of course, which is very successful, the European Partnership Program, which we say from our part it's the Eastern Partnership Program, and there's a huge progress also with Ukraine. And beginning of November, the Euronest, I don't know if you participated, the Euronest Assembly, which is an assembly between the Eastern Partnership parliaments and the European Parliament, was here in Kiev. And one of the results of this meeting was that the European Parliament will support an Eastern Partnership Plus model, which is even more support for countries which made huge progress. It's just an incentive also again the situation, you don't have to apply for it or not, so it's free choice. But if some countries want to do more, we can, with this plus model, we can support them more. So I think this is a very important step forward in the cooperation. And also, as Michael Jäger said, if it comes to tax systems or other specific questions, always check the best practice in Europe. And now this is your advantage. You can choose the best ones, like Slovakia, Estonia, when it comes to tax systems. Estonia, which is as now the presidency of the council, is also a role model for many other things. The digitalization. The country in the world with the highest level of digitalization is Estonia, because they started from the scratch and they decided for this way, and within 10-15 years they applied. They do everything in their life is possible online, and this sets free so many inventions, so many ideas. When I saw in the first invention today, there was Skype mentioned. Every one of you knows Skype or uses Skype. It's an invention. It comes from Estonia. It would never be possible if the government never decided on go this digital way. And this might be a role model also for, and it would also be very good for Bavaria or for Germany to look more to Estonia and try to learn from them. There are also things we can learn from Ukraine. It's not a one-way road that we give you advice and you should follow. There are also things from you we could learn, and we are aware of that. So it's also always a mutual interest, this kind of partnerships. And as there are many young students or young people here today, so what I could tell you, or the message I want give you. So study hard. This is always the precondition for success. Then explore Europe, explore the European Union, explore also other markets, US, Asia, don't know, but prepare for your future in Ukraine. It's not. It shouldn't be in your interest to go to European Union somewhere to look for the best country for your development. The best country for your development is Ukraine, and you should prepare for that. You have many advantages here. The digitalization is one opportunity. You are not bad on that sector. I think you are also very good in air conditioning, if I look for the room temperature here, so maybe this is another branch. But digitalization, we are facing fake news, we are facing cybercrime, also new branches where we need some expertise, where you can start immediately. You have experience on that and you have very good conditions. So this might be a way for your future, but it's in Ukraine. And if you stay here and you prepare for a future here, you will shape this country. You will shape your future in this country. And this, I want to encourage you. This should be the goal of your studies and of your way in business.